Welcome back to the Sports Source, the segment brought to you by the Topoko Lodge. It is a river release weekend at the Lodge today. They open up the Cheoah Dam, where they filmed The Fugitive, by the way. You know, where Harrison Ford goes jumping out. That's the Cheoah Dam right by the Topoko Lodge. I mean, right by it. They open it up. Water surges right by the lodge. It's really a cool thing to see. Well, they have another river release coming up May 29th and 30th, 2 weeks from now. So get up there to the lodge. If you want to go up there today, the tavern, do so. But get yourself a weekend stay at the lodge in a couple of weeks. Go up there to the tavern, see it. I mean, it's a great place to see even when it's not a river release. But when the river is up and the rapids are roaring by there, it is very cool. The Topoko Lodge, topoko.com to learn more. All right. New athletic director Danny White announced this week that Tennessee season opener versus Bowling Green will be played on Thursday, September 2nd. And if you're looking at the graphic thinking, what is BGSU? Technically, they're Bowling Green State University, so that's what that is. Anyway, the game will be on the SEC Network. The idea is to get some added exposure right out of the gate. Is this a good move or a bad move, Chuck Cavalier?
I think it's a great move. I mean, I like the way Danny White announced it. He says it's very rare that you look at moving, to a midweek type of date. But the opportunity to be on the SEC Network, 8 o'clock, I think we all love those night games in Neyland.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
As someone who hosts a morning talk show, no,
But I mean, the way it was presented and what you have there, and it's the 100th season of football in that stadium, I just like it. And I like the way they handled it.
Is it early enough for fans who are out of town to make their plans?
Well, it's 4 months, And if you're wondering, it's not the day after Labor Day. Labor Day's still on. So, I mean, I know it's tough having it early in the week, but yes, it's worth it. And you're talking about the innovation or doing things that gets you out there in a big way.
They also announced a couple of weeks ago that they'll be going back to Charlotte to open a season in a few years against West Virginia, like they did in Pruitt's first year. So that's a switch from the Philip Fulmer belief. He didn't want to play those games. Danny White seems to be going, as he said, he wants to be an innovator. He's going back to where most of the other people are going. Vince, your thoughts? Is this a good move or a bad move for Tennessee to put this thing on Thursday night?
I think overall it's good. National exposure, you get an opportunity to introduce Josh Heupel with that power tee and on the Tennessee sidelines. There's obviously some drawbacks besides the national attention as a positive, for local businesses. It's going to be tough. Now you're getting,
are the local business owners in favor of this?
Yeah, you're getting fans finally back. The businesses can finally take advantage of having a large capacity, if not maximum capacity, and now it's one less home date where they can fully take advantage of it because it's a weekday. The last time during a weekday there was the whole parking thing on campus with students and everything, so who knows. And it's going to be tough for some people to travel in that game. So, but still, I think it'll be a positive for them. Get ready for the graphic about the NCAA investigation. I know for fans,
the old Bruce
Pearl, exactly right. So fans will be like, "Oh, we just got on national TV, so we can get ripped about the NCAA again." So that's coming.
Josh, I'll be surprised if ESPN doesn't put somebody with a bigger reputation on their air on this Thursday night. Typically, you don't just see, when somebody opens on Thursday on the SEC Network, there's also somebody opening on ESPN on Thursday and someone on ESPN2 on Thursday. I'm going to get, maybe you're wrong, hope I'm wrong for Tennessee's sake, but my guess is Tennessee Bowling Green isn't going to get all the national attention that more than it would on a Saturday, but I don't think it's going to be all eyes in America will be tuned to that.
Yeah, I think that's often easily, I think it's easily overstated. Ohio State, Minnesota plays that night, and that's going to be a Fox broadcast, I'm guessing FS1, but Ohio State's a big draw, of course. I would not expect a ton of elite recruits saying, got to get home from practice so I can watch the Tennessee Bowling Green game. I don't think that's the case.
Bowling Green,
right.
That's two great programs.
But is it more exposure than you would get on a Saturday with all those games going on? Yeah. I would say for sure. So I think you have some positives, some negatives. It's probably a push overall. One thing I would say to Josh Heupel, put points on the board. What you don't want is a close game in the second half where on Friday, for some reason, they're talking about the Tennessee Bowling Green game, and it would be because it's close. Now, Bowling Green is not expected to be any good at all, but it's the first game. You never know. So put 50, put 60 on the board, Josh Heupel.
I was going to say this. I think it's a good thing unless you lose. You don't want to struggle either. That Appalachian State game was a Thursday, was it?
It was. And Friday morning, everybody was saying,
oh my gosh,
what's going on there?
What's happened? But you don't want to, and for anybody who's like, you're not going to lose to Bowling Green. Yeah, I heard that before Georgia State, too. So that was just 2 short years ago, and that was an 8-win Tennessee team, which this one is not expected to be. I think it's a good move, and I understand why Danny White did it, but you're right. You better put your best foot forward on night one if you're going to be on TV doing it. All right, let's talk about the schedule. The NFL announced theirs this week, and everybody talked about the best matchups, and it was all the discussion. What are the best, most watchable games on Tennessee's schedule this year? The 3 top ones. We'll argue and debate that next. Come on back.